In this tutorial, you're going to learn how to create a two-point perspective sidewalk. There we go. So first thing you need to know is that obviously you're going to have to create a horizon line and your two vanishing points. And both ends of your sidewalks are going to meet at your right and your left vanishing point. So the first thing you want to do is you want to decide where's the point where the two sidewalks are meeting in the center. And that's entirely up to you, but you're going to draw a vertical line where you want them to meet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. This line will be erased later, so you don't want to draw it too dark, but I'm drawing it darker so you can see it in the screen. And now you're going to go from the top and the bottom of that vertical line to each vanishing point. Whoops. All right, now it's time to erase this vertical line, which is why you should definitely be drawing it light. And now what we can do is we can go ahead and create the sidewalk slabs. So on the left side of the sidewalk, your slabs are going to connect to the right vanishing point. So what you're going to do to start is you're going to take this line that you originally created here, and you're just going to continue it all the way until it hits that left edge. So I'm lining up to my vanishing point, my right vanishing point, and I'm just going to continue this line. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. So lining it up to my left vanishing point, and I'm just basically continuing this line. And that's the corner square or the corner slab of my sidewalk. So let's go ahead and create some of the other slabs now. So we're going to continue on the left side, and the whole time you want to make sure that you are touching your right vanishing point. Your ruler should never move from the right vanishing point. Even as you continue to rotate upwards, your ruler should still be touching that right vanishing point. So I'm lining up to my right vanishing point. I'm going to slide up my ruler, and I'm going to go ahead and draw a line that if I continued it all the way, it would touch that vanishing point. But I'm actually just going to put it in between these two converging lines. So I'm not going all the way, but if I did, it would touch that vanishing point. And there we have the next sidewalk slab. Now what we know about perspective is that things get smaller and closer together as they get closer to the vanishing point. So I'm going to continue moving my ruler, but I'm going to move it a little bit less each time so that each of these sidewalk slabs is just a little bit closer together. Lined up to my right vanishing point, I'm on the left side of the sidewalk, lining up to the right vanishing point, draw my line. And then I'm going to continue doing that, and what you're going to notice is it's really going to change the angle. As I continue to go upwards, the angle is going to become more and more horizontal. And again, they need to start getting smaller or closer together as they get closer to that vanishing point so that they look like they're farther away. The most common mistake that people make when drawing their sidewalk is they don't line up to the vanishing point. If you don't line it up to the vanishing point, it will look like it's a ramp, or it will look like it's almost standing up. So you got to make sure you're lining up to that opposite vanishing point. So there's my left side of my sidewalk done. I'm going to do the same thing on the right. Lining it up this time to my left vanishing point. Now, if you want all the lines on both sides of the sidewalk to sort of be at the same spot, what you could do is make sure your ruler's horizontal and just draw yourself a little notch that is parallel to the slab on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just so that they look a little more even. You don't have to do it, but it's an option. But as you're moving up, you just got to make sure that your brain doesn't play tricks on you. Make sure that your ruler is still parallel the whole time to the edge of your page, so that the little notches are in the correct spot. I'm going to go ahead and stop there because as they get smaller, it doesn't really matter if they're the same as the opposite side. So I'm lining up to my left vanishing point, and I'm drawing my line. Still lined up to my left vanishing point, drawing my line. There you have a sidewalk in 2-point perspective. If you're interested in creating a curb, you can go ahead and do so. I'll show you how you're going to do it now. So you're going to, from the corner of your sidewalk, draw just a very, very little vertical line. It's about 1/2 centimeter. And then you're going to go from the bottom of that vertical line to each of your vanishing points. So I'm going up to my left vanishing point, and then to my right vanishing point. And what you'll notice is that it automatically gets smaller or narrower as it gets closer to the vanishing point, so we can hardly even see it over there. And if you want it to look even more 3D, what you're going to do is line up your ruler so that it's vertical where it meets the end of each sidewalk slab, and go ahead and draw a vertical line. Make sure that your ruler is vertical. If it's not vertical, it will not look correct. Now, as I get further back, the lines are so close together you can't even see, so I'm not going to bother doing that. Vertical line, I'm just lining it up to each of my sidewalk slabs and drawing my vertical line. All right, so that's how to create a very basic sidewalk in 2-point perspective. Okay, let's look at how to create a road in 2-point perspective. So you've got a lot of options again for your horizon line, and that will also determine how much space you have for your road. I'm going to go ahead and draw my horizon line just above the middle of the page, and I'm going to make my vanishing points a little bit in from the edge of the page for this tutorial. So we know that the sidewalk is going to come first, but if you're not having a sidewalk, then what you could do is you could go ahead and do your road the exact same way you would do the sidewalk. This time I'll make it a little bit off center. So I'm going to draw a vertical line that's going to be the center point of where my 2 roads are meeting, and then I'm going from the top of my vanishing point from the top of my vertical line to the vanishing point on the right, and then the same on the left. This essentially is my road, and it will look much flatter once I erase that vertical line that I used in the center. There you go. So that's my road, and then of course if I wanted to create, if I wanted to actually even make that a sidewalk, then my road would go a little bit further outward. So let's turn this into a sidewalk real quick. Just by virtue of giving the slabs to the sidewalk, it really makes it look more realistic. And then of course they get smaller and closer together as they get closer to the vanishing point. So I'm rushing through this one. You're obviously going to take a little bit more time, but I just want to give you some examples here. All right, so I've got my sidewalk ready. Now I want to add my road outside of my sidewalk down here. I can really go anywhere. I can go right off the page and say that that is one of my roads, and I can even create the lane lines if I want to, that of course get smaller and closer together as they reach the vanishing point. And I've got another road maybe on this side. So that's one way that you could create a road and a sidewalk next to each other. Something that will make them look even more realistic, of course, is adding the curb, and it will make it look like the sidewalk is above the road or elevated from the road, which it usually is. So I'll go ahead and add that.